Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. Today we have an interesting one. It's a 2v1. I'm going against Kor and Thong of Shakira. So, interesting opposition there, and a very interesting game. So I'm taking Yugoslavia for a ride, and right off the bat I have a lot of things headed toward Boris. I wanted to capture this. I wanted to have it be secured right away, and potentially even push through right toward Anna. We'll have to see what happens there. I knew there would be enemy action in Elena and Feder, potentially even one of my two opponents going all the way through there with the same idea of reaching Gregory. So my initial deployment is cautious on this side, going Siari for spotting, and a couple infantry and Vidras. However, the main meat of it, there's a Vihor, there's an M84AN, some more infantry here, triple stack of just OAT M60PBs, I love those vehicles, headed forward that way, and lots of Gamatus and Heras headed up to support this side just in case there was enemy helicopter advance toward Boris. We do see a plane right off the bat here from Brainlets. That's going to be a starfighter, cheap, but I mean, those rocket pods can be very effective, and you can see there's a lot that's kind of not going to code. So starfighter is going to be engaged by an L-19, and first shot, second, third shot, down he goes. But there's no enemy in Boris. I was sitting there going, wait. I was supposed to engage them here. We're supposed to chew through them here with the V4, with the M84AN. Just two twin, really good guns shooting down the sight. That's what was intended. And then once I'd crushed them in Boris, I was going to try and move through to Anna. Or, you know, if I'd lost, I would have been pushed through back to Gregory. But the lack of encountering anything in Boris, I was just sitting there going, okay, well, this is a huge investment, and I'm getting nothing from it, and now I'm being engaged by the side. It turns out Kor had most of his stuff headed toward Elena, so this is all headed over from Elena into the woods, unexpected direction, really just not a lot there prepared and ready to do it, and meanwhile Shakira was playing over in center, so I don't have much headed up toward Dmitry. I am going to be engaging a little bit with helicopters, Gamatus, getting a nice kill there, maybe getting a second one. Yep, we do take down a scout helicopter as well. And now my poor proletary, blocked by the other unit card, but I love these guys. 15 points, shock infantry. So, in my opinion, better Jaeger, although I know the secondary is different, you know, the guns are different, things like that. But those guys, backed up by OAT M60PBs, are going to be engaging with Canadian rifles. And this should go our way pretty well, I think. I mean, it looks like only one of my guys... Oh, no, both of them say they're shooting, but a Leopard C2 Mexus is going to complicate things and call out a response. So an Arreo coming in, 8 of those small bombs, I mean 250 kilogram... Oh, are they 250s? Yeah, 250 kilogram bombs coming in. We can see the rifles, the TH-495s, pretty wonderful infantry fighting vehicles. I like them quite a bit. He was playing a Canadian deck, I think, so it is going to struggle with heavy armor. And that's something I definitely intend to take advantage of later on. But over on the right-hand side, not all that much going on. I sense, I think, a Hera 2 over there to scout, taken down by a Tiger Hap. But that's alright. We do also have a couple other Heras headed up this way, trying to prevent anything from getting too far forward. And my opponents are ticking at a +3 because Elena's capped, Center's capped, and I'm not really making use of the additional resources on the ground very well. So L19, L17K headed over this way, and I'm finally getting some reinforcements up toward Dmitry before I'll be able to cap that with any sort of comfort. KWS coming in from Shakira, and the L19 should be headed over there trying to engage. And, ooh, let's see, does it begin to turn? No, actually, missile away from the KWS first. We'll look back over there, but just an infantry fight. Evac order from the L17. I was trying to get the Tiger. L19 turning to engage. One shot. Evac ordered on the KWS. Second shot. Third shot, and we take him down. Evac ordered real soon on the L19 as well. I think he just circled back first. Now we can see there's Canadian rifles and a C2 shooting from that side, which effectively means that I've spent a ton of points to lock down the zone that I can't really push out of. That's not great. Let's be honest, though. It's really not what you want to do. However, there is a silver lining, and that is that Boris can often become the deciding factor in this match, because Elena and Feder, though I have nothing in Feder anyway, but Elena and Feder are sort of 1-1. Dmitry and Center match up, so the in-the-middle zone is Boris. And what I've done is I've grabbed Boris, and I've lost Elena and Feder. Son of a bitch. Not exactly a great strategy, but what can you do anyway? Dmitry is capped. We have stopped the bleed now, so no longer a +3 from my opponents, although I don't know why they removed the cap in Elena. So let's see. Command Squadron, and yeah, Lockdown. I think they're just moving the Command Squadron, probably just to a more comfortable position there. I'm already 161 points behind for the Conquest bit of the game, although Maybe not in terms of kills. I think it's actually been probably pretty okay for that. But Graniciari being engaged from the town, my Droop teams here that were dropped off originally, and some of their vehicles have been killed, so not exactly ideal there. Now we have an advance from Core over on the left-hand side. I'm trying to get the Droog over. Let's see, first missile should be away against whatever the heck this is. Yeah, infantry fighting vehicle, and I'm taken out by, I think it was a scout vehicle on the left. One shot, one kill, but hey, the Droog also got his kill, so not too bad. Hera 2 in response, and now infantry headed toward Fetter. So at this point, I was thinking to myself, you know, we'll cap the center zone. That should at least get it to 0-0. Fetter shouldn't be all that difficult for me to push. It's relatively close to Gregory. I have a shorter reinforcement line than they do, which is some advantage there. And if I can hold in Dimitri on this side, there are some recent comments, always hold down here, and you're right. I was blessed by a cautious opponent this game, whereas one that was a bit more headstrong could have probably sat on this side and made my life really, really miserable. But L-17K coming in, trying to get rid of that CH-111-8 gunship, sorry, 118 gunship, and he does get the kill, evac ordered right away. Oof, yeah, big damage coming in from AA there, and I think there's, I don't know, so it's Canadian, I'm not really sure, I think that it should have an ADATS, right? But that shot, an ADATS would have done more damage, that clearly wasn't from an ADATS. And now I'm just gathering sort of critical mass here, trying to get enough to be able to engage, and the Vidra's engaging Cougar Recon, that is going to go to the Vidras with their main cannons, and unloading the infantry, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is fine, this is fine. We'll go from these woods to the town, we'll use the town to then put pressure from the town and from the right-hand side as well into these woods. That should be okay. Missile on the way, we do spot an ADATS, but no joy there, and Arayo's coming out, trying to punish that advance. Let's take a look at what those bombing runs can do. And one at the town, one at the ADATS. Missed the ADATS because he was moved back, but we did get the town, we cleared the infantry out there, not too much trouble. So, now we do have some units over here, Graniciari and a Hera 2, just sort of defense, and if they can see far enough, the Hera 2 will zone out infantry moving up to that town, although only one unit, maybe two at most. We do also have Parobranchi. I always call them Radobranchi. Yeah, I just can't read. But that's at least some sort of elite guard near that area. And now you can see the Vidras moving forward, Proletariat moving forward, trying to get this town. And again, these guys are just... I'm trying to use more cheap infantry, and maybe these guys should be single stacked, but at least it's 30-point groupings instead of 60 or 80-point groupings that I've used before. The ADATS does go down to the Vidras, though, so I was trying to get a missile on the way. Very expensive mistake here. 110 points gone from the Canadian player, and it was lost to some Vidras, so 25 points each, double stack, and 2 autocannons online with good range. That's all you need sometimes. In the meantime, Canadian rifles spotted out in the open, and these OAT-60 PBs, 3 guns, including a recoilless rifle, I tend to find for 10 points. That's really wonderful. The only thing that can make them better, in my opinion, is if they had better frontal armor, even 2, and these guys would be just amazing for a 10-point vehicle. Probably would have to be nerfed down to 15 points, but, you know, such is life. More Areo bombers coming in. Questionable utility off these guys. I was really just trying to clear the way, make sure that there was nothing there that would really have me regretting my life decisions. But Proletariat caught out in the open. My OAT-60 PBs also engaged from the side there, and this seems to be the detachment that had previously gone over to the east to engage in Boris. So at least this is relatively securely held. And once again, more Areo bombers. I'm just, you know... In the previous match against Core, I did not have air superiority, and I was trying to make up for that this time around, but KWS is coming to answer. A couple missiles on the way. Somehow the Areo does get out, and the second one does as well. So, bum luck there for my opponent. That definitely should have been at least one kill between the Hornet and the KWS. But I actually take down the KWS with the L-19, who's going to be circling and getting away. We are going to be calling out a VHOR. We also have an M84AN here, and this is kind of where the lack of Canadian armor sort of starts being a problem. So, sure, the Canadian rifles can engage the Proletariat and they'll be fine. Actually, nice support from the Hera though. So those rocket pods, FFARs, doing pretty good work clearing out the Canadian rifles. You can see Proletariat aren't that well equipped to even handle a C2 Mexus. I mean, 13 AP power just isn't enough. Those guys can shrug that off any day, but bombers going in once again, and this time I think it's going to be a bit of a swing and a miss. Well, no, we stunned the TH-495, actually killed my own Proletariat. Never what you want, but planes out to answer again, double mirages, this time from Shakira. So both players now on the Blue 4 team investing into getting me out of the skies. and that will be an issue. But we've got the town. I have a Druk team here, Proletary here. So advancing to the woods was not successful, but the second wave is ready, and this is something that, well, I guess, so we'll just watch the gunship die first. Oh, yeah. No. Never mind, he actually dodged. Not bad. Voodoos aren't able to take out the L-17, so this is something I was thinking about. In a 2v1, the singular player has the same income as both of the other players combined, and double availability, but lack of, well, micro, right? So two players should out-micro a single one. But Shakira has been playing relatively passively over here. If you take a look, it's well fortified. There's Tiger Hap, Gazelle Canon, Heimatschützen, more Heimatschützen, Fuchs Milan, Frotals, but very few forward infantry other than right here. And these guys, I mean, yeah, they're nice, but they're not capping Dimitri. They could be trying to. He's actually been helping out in Elena. So his own Panzergren, some Martyrs reinforcing core here on Elena, and I don't know. I think this doesn't necessarily capitalize on the advantages of a 2v1, right? If he's advancing, if Core's advancing in Elena and Feder, and I am also getting pushed in Dimitri, that's going to be really difficult to deal with because I'm going to be going back, forth, trying to split my attention. But if it's just one way, I mean, yeah, there's still better micro on that front, but I don't know, it doesn't seem to capitalize on it quite as much. So M84ANs, more Oreos coming in, trying to get some nice bombing runs here. 1, 2, 3 this time. We do lose one, and lose 2 actually. No, sorry, 17k. 2 Oreos and now 17k destroyed. I lost my entire air force on that bombing run, and it was definitely not worth it. We do get a couple of his planes in returns. The Spatbovs opening up and making good contact. Nevamet as well, getting, actually swinging a miss there on the Starfighter. I was kind of chagrined to see him get out. But it was enough. So the M84AN's pushing in, not going to have all that much that's able to stop him, and the Vidras showing why they're just wonderful fire support vehicles, trying to go in against Panzergren and Canadian rifles. ADATS, I think he was trying to get a clean shot on the M84AN, and this is the problem with Canada, right? So if it was a Commonwealth deck, you could have a heavier tank up front, or just a couple more tanks up front, and the ADATS could shoot relatively safely. But because there's no armor piece that can slow down the V-Horde and the M84AN, that ADATS has to fire directly. And yeah, so we're moving back into the woods, trying to make sure that we're never on visible long enough to be taken out by an ATGM vehicle. I should have probably had a mortar firing in. Actually didn't buy one because I'm kind of the worst. But just sort of cycling up, getting some good value, and then cycling back, which, cautious play I know, but with the cap on Feder, there's still 27 minutes left theoretical to play. We only have 10 minutes left in the replay, but there's a lot of game time left to be used, and I'm taking out a +1. So I thought it was okay. I have a huge lock on Boris. It'd be really hard to push out of that. And there have been no contests so far in Dimitri. And in addition, I mean, seeing the Panzergren here, realizing that both of my opponents are focusing on this Tiger Hat as well, I thought, okay, well, this is fine. I can keep the +1. I can try and just be annoying, and if I can push through to Elena and secure that zone as well, that's another way to get the win, where I don't need to be split for my micro on both sides of the field. L-17 comes in, gets the kill on the Tiger, goes down, but the L-17 is cheaper than that Tiger, so yeah, okay, that's fine. It's fine with me, right? Maybe not the best for availability, but Tiger Haps are pretty small availability anyway, so I thought it would be okay. We are getting shot at from various directions here, but Panzergren caught out in the open, Brdskaya Pez and Proletary using their tertiaries to great effect there, and actually Heimatschützen being caught by Hera 2s, these guys are really growing on me. I mean, look at that range, right? Not that many kills, but damaged infantry at that range is worth it, I think, with the scouting these guys provide. I do now have a Plummen S, and this was a lot of fun, so just shooting in again and again. Starfighter does take out some Proletary, and these guys are getting annoying, but single shot from Nevamet, I probably needed a second one over here. That would have been a better, more reliable AA net, but I don't know. I wanted points on the ground. I wanted units on the ground able to do some sort of response. You can see Shakira trying to take advantage of a light hold on the left side of Feder. I have everything in this center, on the right-hand side there, and Proletarian engaging Heimatschützen will win, but this was actually pretty threatening. So Array Bomber a little bit overcompensating here, but I thought if I baited them out with that, I might be able to get a kill. Down goes one plane, L-19 still in the air, going after the Voodoo, and not enough. Single shot in the Mirage. Yeah, I'd hope for better than that, but sometimes It just is what it is. Hera 2 also getting killed on my side, and I don't know, this was a bit scary. I have an M84AN that's going to be coming out. We're going to be trying to hold on that side with them, and the Spatbov, between these two guys, I felt like it should be at least secure. But secure is a long way from victorious, so yeah, it's a nice identification on their part of an area where I was weak, and very nice taking advantage of it as well. So HT-40 NRZ 128, these helicopters, in theory, right, similar range to the Hera 2's rocket pods, actually a little bit better, and they're better rockets. So what I was trying to do, and I just completely messed up, was I wanted him hanging out next to the Hera and just screening things out. But instead, a couple of AA missiles coming in from Shakira, and yeah, that's gonna kind of suck. So a bit too far forward. I think it was a VBL Mistral takes that guy down, and I wasn't able to actually get any use out of those rocket pods, but the M84AN will make short work of that. So yep, VBL Mistral, let's watch the incoming tank shot. So this guy, oh, nice little Jeep, nice little missiles, and kaboom. So that was at least good value. M84AN, a good answer to what was going on that side. And now we have a bit of a duel here, so Leopard C2s do get a kill on my M84AN, just side shots I think, as I was trying to move forward this way, although, no, actually just wore him down, so fair enough, right? But the V-Horde did get a couple good kills, retreating now, trying to dodge the retaliatory bomber strike, and actually Seed coming in from Shakira as well, but Nevamet's part of why I like him so much. There's no radar signature, so one shot going in. L19 also back out in the field again. Really an MVP this game, I think, that L19. A couple shots, evac ordered, and the Voodoos, in response, are not going to be able to close quite enough. I mean, these guys, yeah, that's air spam if I've ever seen it. But I've seen that before. I guess they were a bit more expensive, but seen that before from Core, so I kind of figured that was going to be a favored tactic here as well. M84AN not equipped to handle the Gazelle Canon. We do get a nice kill across the zone here on just what looks like a transport vehicle, so not a lot, but every little bit is something. And now this was getting dangerous. Lots of Leopard 2s, Lav 2 Tuas are very nice ATGM vehicles, but taken out by the Drugs and the Vidra here in the back. So I was trying to get up here, re-secure this forward town, but not quite able to do it. And now we do have more active engagements, so double L19s going in on the Starfighters, taking out one of them, actually maybe two, that looks like a late kill there, falling down into the trees, but answering Voodoos again from Brainlets, and I overestimated these guys during, I thought they had better range. But enough missiles will still get the job done anyway. There's also a push coming in, trying to secure, for the Blue 4 team, this forward town, and my Drugs are overexposed. It was a bad plan. Should have not done that until I had this resecured by Proletary, but I really wanted these guys to screen out those Leopards, and I thought if I could get into the town, they might be able to do it. Nice smoke coming in as well from the Blue 4 team, and here's going to be a good engagement. So Britskaya Pez and Proletary have been holding this for a while, doing just great work there. Plum and S shooting in again, flattening this section of woods. I mean, if there's anything still alive there, I will... Well, okay, fine. There's still some stuff alive there. But, I mean, as Heimat shoots in, it's a single man on a Canadian Rifles team, and you can see just the relative strengths here. We've been wearing Blue 4 down pretty well, and what little they have left, I mean, Canadian Rifle group there is pretty healthy, but Recce, Grizzlies, Heimat shoots in, not really the most robust of defenses. Leopard C2, however, able to make it all the way up. Canadian Rifles also making it all the way up to this side, and I've kind of lost control over that side of the town. It kind of goes to show, apologies for the train, by the way, that this was, for the moment anyway, kind of an overinvestment. Lots of Britskaya Pez, and yeah, they'll be good at screening out advances on the side, but this was a big investment from the beginning of the game, and all it did was get shelled, pretty much, for most of it, so not great there. My Spatbov's unable to find a targeting solution. This was really frustrating. So I'm sitting there going, that's 90 points in gunships, and my Spatbov killed them both relatively quickly, but I had to go out into the open ground trying to find a firing solution, so this was an attack move over that side. Plominez shooting in again and just boring through my opponent's position. So let's see. Yeah, command squad down to a single man, ADAT stunned. Actually, I didn't know that. That was nice. Nearly killed the command infantry there. Still unable to find a targeting solution off the Spatbov, and yeah, well, so that did tell me something, though. The fact that the command vehicle or infantry moved was worthwhile. Jeez. Gunships got him. Traded one gunship for the Spatbov. Pretty even in terms of value, actually. But, so much going on. 2v1s are as hectic to record as they are to play, so yeah, that was kind of rough. Actually, I think we did we get a kill? No, so what's happening is the fire is making the command squadron move. So he's just trying to find a better spot. That did tell me where he was, though, because the fires there are going to be the only thing that's going to cause successive movement like that. So I was trying to get the Plowman S able to shoot again, but only 8 shells left in that. It's not going to be quite enough. Martyr 2 coming in, and Proletary stopped by Canadian rifles. Well, almost stopped by Canadian rifles before they can get in, so not exactly ideal there, but lots of infantry now. OTAB 71s. These guys are 15-point wheeled transports, and I should have done this with the PBs, but I was actually running low on infantry at this point. I wanted something fast as well. It's going to unload Brdskaya Piz, and 30 men each with those nice reclose rifles is going to be pretty good, I think, anyway, yeah. So they have the 1400 meter range, 15 AP recoilless rifles, and almost able to engage there from even that long distance. I'm trying to just move them forward across the open ground. This should have been smoked, this should have been artilleried. It was really just brute force because I thought I could do it. M84AN kills an ADATS, and this is going to be the beginning of the end for the Blue 4 team, as even their Martyr 2s are retreating, Grizzly's being shot, and yeah, I mean, Martyr 2s aren't going to be able to stand up to the M84, to the VHOR that's now moving forward, and actually shooting into the side here as well. So Leopard C2 engaging with the M84. There is a nice response, so Starfighter coming in, and those rocket pods are going after the VHOR. A single point of damage only, and down goes the plane. Second Neva Met now out on the left-hand side, and quad stacks of infantry headed up toward Boris, trying to push through there as well. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely an interesting one. L-17K going after the gunship, and more planes in the air trying to just defend. We do get the gunship, L-19s engaging with the Voodoos, and an L-17K called out against the Tiger Hat as well. Core does surrender, and that honestly makes sense at this point. Elena has pretty much been lost, and even though they were actually ticking at a +1 for a while, as they did countercap in Dimitri, this is going to be a I'm pushing to your home zone kind of victory. So I kind of wish they'd let me do it. It would have been pretty fun to get that far forward, but no dice there. So yeah, very well played to both Shakira and to Core. We had actually a number of really good games that evening. In terms of kills, 25-03 for the Blue 4 team, 39-75 for me, so very much a grindy value game from Yugoslavia, and pretty good, I think, so I was really happy with that. The next game that we played was the 3 of us on a team, and I got crushed, so I was only feeling good about Yugoslavia for a little while, but maybe I'll put that one up here in a day or two. In the meantime, that's all we've got, so thank you all for hanging around, and we'll see you again real soon.